technology and innovation. My name is Achekiu Hamza Ahmed Khan, currently a second year student at ZHCET AMU, and I'll be the host for today's webinar titled as Path to Data Science and Way Ahead. In today's webinar, we'll be discussing about the career prospects in data science, the complete roadmap to DS, the do's and don'ts that one needs to consider while going for data science jobs, a holistic interview preparation guide, and last but not the least, the opportunities in this domain of data science. But before we proceed any further, I'd like to introduce you all to our guest speaker of today's webinar. Mr. Tauheed Ahmad is a data scientist currently working in Noodle.ai. He's a 2019 BTech Computer Engineering graduate from Aligarh Muslim University. Over his tenure, he's a 2019 BTech Computer Engineering graduate from Aligarh Muslim University. Rounds of data science over his tenure from around 40 plus companies in 6 months. He has also interviewed and screened several candidates for the companies he has worked for. He has also started his own venture, the selfcreators.com, on which he mentors people from around the world, irrespective of their background and experiences, to answer the questions like how to make a career in data science, complete learning track, do's and don'ts of it, etc. Moreover, he conducts mock interviews and resume discussions to further boost the preparation of the candidates. Over the past 2 months, he has mentored 40 plus candidates so far. He also holds a decent audience on LinkedIn, where he talks about data science, content creation, and many more things. On behalf of IIRU-ZHCET and Aligarh Muslim University, I welcome you, sir, and thank you so much for connecting with us today. And we look forward to a great session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hamza. Thank you so much, Zafariab, sir, for conducting this session. First of all, I would like to mention, especially this cell IIRU of Aligarh Muslim University. It is helping the candidates around the, especially for the engineering background, to actually develop some kind of vocational vocational kind of learning, for example group discussion, public speaking, and those kind of things which you cannot learn in these 4 years of BTech, and which is actually required one of the skills for getting a job. And of course the Professor Zafiyab is one of the mentor. He introduced me to the world of programming when I was in first year, and he's still doing now. Apart from his regular teaching, he's still a very in charge of the this IIRU membership, this cell of Aligarh Muslim University. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity. A lot of people have been joined. So most of the people audience is very diverse. Some of the people are very experienced and are into the jobs. Some are the students of Aligarh Muslim University and from the diverse faculty. Okay. So as Hamza has already introduced, I would straightly jump into the presentation, which I have prepared, and I just want you to walk through, give a brief overview of what's the agenda and how this session will be. So let me share my screen. My screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So basically, the agenda is to data science and a way ahead, like how to make a career into that. Since a lot of people want to go or even switch a career into data science, so that's why, I want to talk about everything from how to get prepared for it, like how the interviews will be like, or what's the expectation, what's your strategy should be regarding the job search. Since I have been through a lot of rounds, interview rounds, especially for the data science, so I will just walk you through it. Okay, so this is the plan for the session. Okay, I will just give a little intro about what is data science in a couple of minutes. Then I will talk about the interview process, what it is like what's the expectation in that, and the complete roadmap, like how we should follow, or at that time when I was learning a data science, how I followed it. Okay, and how after completing the roadmap, I will just talk about how you should build your profile or the portfolio, resume, CV, and how you should do the job search, especially for all levels. Since most of the audience is the student, so I will talk mostly on the off-campus thing. On campus, you already know. And after the remaining 15 minutes, I will do the live cross questioning, or I will answer some of the questions which I have already received on the form, Google form. So let's begin. Like data science is the field which we apply to actually make a decision, okay, based on the data or the facts, okay, without the use of human intervention. This is called the data science, and its application is very vast in terms of like automotive, in terms of medical, in terms of supply chain, in terms of retail. Everywhere, data science is like heavily used. Okay, the reason being is this: why it is popular, because it is reducing the human effort. Okay, without the people usually don't have to do like if 100 people are doing some kind of work in they are taking like 90 days, that same machine learning problem or data science problem will able to solve that problem within 1 hour at the cost of 1000 people. So this is the power of data science, and everything nowadays is automated without the need of people, or in the future it will be. I know it's sad but true. It is again popular because of the second reason, because it is a real research oriented field. Like every day, even now, you have to learn something. Like new concepts have been evolved, or new field. Even even in data science, there are a lot of new fields like NLP, computer vision, predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics. There are a lot of things to be learned, and even within that field, new concepts are making sense. Okay, new inventions and new discoveries are happening. Okay, and this is why we are it is getting popular and popular. The third reason, it pays high, definitely, because we have to learn a lot in everyday basis. It's like whenever you come to an industry, whenever you get placed in any company, it doesn't work like that. You learn something for first few months, and the same knowledge will apply to the rest of your decade. It never works that way. Okay, and the fourth reason, we already know that it is a cool. Okay, so uh, the applications, some of them you already know that for example, if I talk about agriculture, okay, in agriculture we use image processing.
If I talk about
Okay,
agriculture,
we click the image of the mango to detect whether the mango is healthy or not, or whether its crop the crop yield is very good or not based on the image. This is just the agriculture part. In medicine or in healthcare, we are just scanning the x-rays to detect of the maybe of lung, to detect whether the person has a lung cancer or not. Or even in the medicine, we are just predicting how much the ratio of several chemicals should be mixed together so that a medicine could be made. This is just decided by the machines. Okay, all the algorithm and data science. So no human intervention is involved in that. While of course, while developing that machine learning tool or model, definitely human intervention is involved. But once it's deployed, a very little human intervention is involved in that. This is something you already know. In terms of automotive, self-driving cars is made. Okay, definitely on the data. Like first, the car is made, then the software is made. The software is embedded into the car. Then car test, for example, Tesla. The car made a trial run over the road, or even a simulator. For example, if I talk about a game, the car is actually uh, like uh, actually landed in a real environment in a game. For example, if I talk about GTA, in that game the car is made, and based on the based on reinforcement learning, like several decisions have to be made. Like for example, like we shouldn't go towards we shouldn't drive on the footpath, we shouldn't go into the river or those kind of things. So based on that, actual cars have been made in automation industry. Okay, automotive. That's something you already know, but something you need to know that is out of the box, and some recent invention that has been made by the Google. One of such invention I would like to mention is basically this. Let me just show you. Do you know the Google has recently published a paper in which, by writing the text, okay, it can generate an image automatically. For example, you could see like the text has been written by you, and based on several billions of corpus of images, is any visualized images or any hypothetical images is being generated. Okay, you could also easily see these images couldn't have been possible, or very rarely have been possible in real, but that has been generated in by this research of the Google. Okay, this is the power of the data science or machine learning. Like this is going beyond the human intelligence somehow, but control. have to be needed, because with great power comes great responsibility. Coming back to the slide, okay. So the thing is, like, now you know about what is data science, how it is, like, the applications of it. I would like to talk about, like, how you make career into that, because that's the most important thing. We are in right on, mostly we right now in final year or pre-final year, we are going like into a placement season, okay. But how you should prepare for that, not just data science but a generalized approach for anything, but particularly this is the thing you should follow for data science, okay. This is helpful for the both experience as well as the students who have doesn't have experience at all. So the strategy of learning is something like, first we should learn backward. So first we learn what is the process should be like, okay. Then we learn how we should learn the data science, okay, not the forward way. Like, we learn all of the things and then we learn the process, okay, because we don't know how much we should learn, okay. So we should like, based on the time, like, we have to work very smartly and very efficiently to learn the data science, okay. So first let's understand the interview process, how it should be like, okay. The DS interview or data science interview process consists of, in generalized way, consists of these five things: the pre-screening call, online assessment, technical interviews, data science assignment, and HR round. Okay. The pre-screening call is basically the recruiter will reach out to you, and she will, like, she or he will judge you, like, whether you are a capable candidate or not on a very high level. For example, someone calls me, okay, they will ask me, okay, do you know NLP, do you know Python, do you know SQL, okay. Or maybe they will ask me, okay, which company you're working on, okay, or maybe what projects you have worked on, how many projects you have worked on, okay, just to get the basic idea whether you are technically sound for that particular job description or job role that particular recruiter is hiring for, okay. The next thing is online assessment round. The online assessment round is basically the online, sometimes the online coding round, or sometimes it may involve some kind of MCQs question on maybe on several topics. But the thing is, more than 50% companies in on which, like, I have interviewed so far, around 40 companies I have been interviewed. So more than 50% company don't conduct this round because it is very, like, maybe time consuming for them, or some other reasons. So if they conduct the rest 50%, if they conduct, they will ask you these questions or somewhere around this, right? As many of you have seen on my LinkedIn post, I've posted this, but I'm repeating in front of you. They will ask Python or R coding. Like, you will have on a online portal, you will have a timer running. Okay, on this timer, you have to solve these much of questions or the problem statement which have been asked. First is Python or R coding, which is your programming aptitude, how much your programming sound, how much you know programming in terms of Python or R, because they are widely used in data science. SQL, okay, this is a database language that you should know how to they will ask you several tables on the online portal, okay, and they will give a problem statement. Let's suppose I want to select the highest salary of the employee from the table. You have to write SQL query for that, okay. Then they will the third is data science coding. What data science coding means, they will give you some kind of maybe a data set, or they will give you a Jupyter notebook portal, and you have to write some code based on machine learning or data science just to get the prediction, okay. And if you like qualify their criteria of solving that, maybe if they ask, the accuracy should be above 80%. If you qualify their criteria, then you will be able to qualify this online assessment round. Other things are machine learning theoretical MCQs or statistics or aptitude. These are very rare, as you can see. Okay, I don't haven't seen that, but coding is very, SQL and Python or coding are very very often thing that has been asked, usually in online assessment round. The next thing are technical interview round. The vastness of technical interview round is very very vast. Okay, some companies like Mindtree, they conduct only one round. Uber, like companies like Uber, they conduct 5 6 round or even more. especially when it comes to, usually the idea is, when it comes to product based company, good product based company, they conduct more round just to get satisfied, or like just to sort out their creamy layer of the pool of candidates. Okay. And some consulting companies like Mindtree, Fractal, Tiger Analytics, Dunhamby, the math company, these companies conduct 2 or 3 rounds, and that is enough for them. Mostly, as usual, two technical rounds conducted. Okay, in usual, but there is no guarantee in that. Okay, it totally depends on the company situation mindset. In technical interviews, these things usually asked. Okay, the machine learning theoretical knowledge on algorithm or concept. For example, what are the algorithms? For example, let's suppose you have built a project. Okay, and they will ask you about linear regression on that. Okay, what is linear regression? What are the assumptions of linear regression? Which optimization method has been used on behind of the linear regression? For example, whether it is gradient descent, or maybe they will, when you answer gradient descent, they might ask you the various parts of the gradient descent, like mini batch gradient descent, stochastic. These are the something they will ask. Or even if you have used random forest or maybe k-means clustering, they will ask you something related to that. Okay. For example, in k-means clustering, what is k? How do you decide the k? After getting clustered your data, how will you validate your results? Okay. Interview. The next thing is about your projects. Okay, you should know your projects very well, end to end. The main area you should focus on while explaining the project is where, especially in the data science project, is that like from where you got the data. Okay, let's suppose from the Kaggle, or you downloaded from any other sites. Okay, and they will ask, okay, how, what are the pre-processing steps you have done, or data cleaning, whether there were any duplicate value, or you have imputed any mean imputation or mode imputation have you done on those projects. They will ask you just to get the idea that you are technically sound on that or not. Okay, then there will be live coding. Okay, live coding, if they haven't conducted the online coding round, they might test you on live coding by screen sharing. Okay, and they will open a Word doc, and you have to, they will explain the problem statement, and you have to live code in front of them. Okay, in case of the live interview. And they will ask you, same for the, goes for the SQL, they will give you some tables, and you have to write the SQL queries on that. The next thing is case study. Okay, the case study is something. It is. I don't think that is expected from the freshers. Okay, especially this is more relevant to people who are experienced in this call. So, case study is something which is, it is an open-ended problem. Okay, in which there is no right or no wrong answer in that. For example, let me give you a question on case study. The case study is something, let's suppose a company hires me, McDonald's, let's say McDonald's burger. They have hired me as a data scientist, and they want to decide whether this opening a McDonald's in New Delhi, particularly this area, would be profitable or not. Should we open this store there or not? This is an open-ended problem. So what I will do as a data scientist, I have to give answers, or my approaches into that. Okay, it totally depends on how depth, on like how much depthly you can think of the solution. Like you can think of something like, maybe it depends on the type of area, whether it is an urban area or a rural area. Maybe urban people consume a lot of fast food. Since we are talking about McDonald's, they are usually a fast food company. Or then you can conduct some kind of survey with what are their food preferences. Okay, and then you can compare other McDonald's store in the similar metropolitan city like New Delhi, along with Mumbai, Bangalore, or Kolkata, those kind of cities, in which whether they were profitable or not earlier. Then only these are based on these factors you can decide whether you should open the store or not. Approaches can go to any long. Okay, and it totally depends on a very short period of time how many different approaches or strategy you could explain on this case study problem. So this is the power of case study. It case study, the acumen or knowledge of case study usually comes when you do projects. Okay, it doesn't come by reading or interview questions from any website. It comes by experience. Okay. The next thing is data science assignment round. Okay. It is like very rare round, like more than 70% companies don't conduct this. If they conduct, they will ask you a problem statement. They will give you a data set. For example, if you are I'm an interviewer and I'm interviewing you, so I will mail you some kind of data set, maybe a Uber company data set, okay, trip data set, and there is a pickup and drop off coordinate, and you have to decide predict what are the fare of that particular data set. Okay. So these things you have to predict, and you have to come up not with just the prediction result, you have to come up with the approaches. What data pre-processing, what story or insights you have got, what plots. Maybe you have to give me a report in the form of PDF or doc or PPT, or maybe some kind of plots. Okay, maybe on weekends the demand of taxi is much higher, that's why the fare got much higher. This is my analysis. You have to come up with some kind of story. Okay. Based on whatever data set I will give it to you. Okay. And maybe there will be a discussion round after when you submit your approaches to me. Okay, this is how it works. The final round is HR round, which you already know. Okay, this will be normal general communication round to just for your background, or just to know your basic background. Okay, just to check your communication skill. Maybe if you're a fresher, or maybe if you are experienced, they will decide salary on that. Salary can be discussed in that. In fresher, usually salary discussion doesn't happen in data science or any company. Okay. So this is all about the data science interview process. First is pre-screening, then online assessment, then technical interviews, then data science assignment round, and then last the HR round. Okay. Now you know the process. The next question should be like how you should do the strategy to prepare yourself, okay, to actually solve come up or actually clear these many of rounds. Okay, especially for the experienced people. Okay, since from the fresher people, like uh, they have a lot of buffer period of time during their bachelor's or whatever the course they are pursuing. So they develop some kind of acumen or knowledge, since they have a lot of time. They do a lot of projects and programming. Some people do. Okay, but for the experienced people, they usually don't get time. Okay, so they usually lost. Some people are lost. Okay, how we should do it. There are a lot of resources available, which is the best. And like some people have a lot of dependency on the family or financial problem, so they couldn't decide like whether I should prepare for get gate, whether I should prepare go abroad for MS, or whether I should prepare for any data science interviews, or how I should do it. So this is something, a roadmap, which I will talk about in depth. This is the general overview, which usually takes around 6 months of data science roadmap. And this consists of these things: some statistics concepts, then some SQL concepts, like that SQL which I have talked about, that database query language. Then you should know some Python and R programming language, or anything related to that. Next thing, you should do a data science course on any website. That I will just give you an overview in that. Uh, and the next is the rest. Most of the time, the 60 days you should spend on projects. Okay. Why I'm talking about the projects is that projects, when you do projects after learning all of these things, right? What will happen? Your programming improves, your analytical ability improves. Okay, like how you decide, because approaching a data science problem has various approaches, and it doesn't mean right like whether that approach is very good and this approach is very bad. There are more than one approaches that can be very good. Okay, and there are some approaches which are also very good and people doesn't know it. Okay, so I'm talking about a lot of projects. Do a projects on a very efficiently, so that your programming improves, your decision ability or analytical ability improves. And when you do projects, you will also learn some theory behind on that in the parallel things. Okay, for example, if you are applying a random forest algorithm, you will learn, go to any website, or maybe learn about go to any medium article or any research blogs, and you will learn all about a random forest, how the decision trees are calculated or created. Okay, or a random forest, how bootstrapping works, or how a entropy is calculated and tree is being generated. Okay, how by combining several weak learners, how to make a strong decision. This is some kind of overview theory of data science. Okay, especially just talking about the random forest, it could be anything. Okay, this is the power of projects. And when you learn projects, recruiter or the interviewer will have some sense of confidence in you that at least this person, especially like any person, has done something. Okay, and like a situation is a lot easier for the freshers or people who are just sitting into the placement or going for internship. Usually what happens is they don't expect much, company don't expect much from the freshers. Okay, because it is true that you don't have any industry knowledge before. Okay, and they just wanted at least to gain this much of confidence that at least this particular candidate or student has done something in any basic project or anything. He has some kind of programming knowledge, or any he knows SQL. He knows not all concepts, but some basic concepts of machine learning. He has done some kind of basic projects and knows some concept. So this is the expectation from the freshers. Situation is a little tough for the experienced people because they have to think from the perspective of business knowledge also. Okay, how for example, if I'm developing a, for example, if you are doing a project, how much that project is profitable to the community, how it is uplifting the community or the society, helping the people. You have the experienced people have to think in that direction. Okay, this is the scenario. So this is the general overview of the 6 month on data science roadmap. I will jump into each and every each and every aspects of it, starting from the statistics. Okay, so the next question is like how much you should know the statistics. Certainly there are a lot of like topics or the concepts in statistics that are there. People do in BSc or MSc in statistics only. They spend 5 or like many years into that. Okay, but especially from the perspective of data science, how much you should know is something from the like whatever the interviews have been given so far. I've culminated all my statistics concepts into this slide. The first is sampling techniques. You should know what is sampling. Okay, you should know about the data distribution. What is the normal distribution? What is the standard normal distribution? You might have seen that bell-shaped curve, and whenever you have plot the data, or even if you doesn't, like it happens. Like whenever you plot the data, some data distribution lies around the standard distribution, normal distribution. What is Gaussian distribution? Concepts like what are the confidence interval, z-score, p-value, t-test. These things you should know. Okay, chi-square test, ANOVA. Okay. The next thing is you should know about the probability concept. Not very tough. What are the conditional probability? Like if this condition has already occurred, what is the chances of the condition? Chances of the probability of other event to occur. Okay. Uh, also known as the Bayes theorem or some basic probability. The most important thing that you should know is the last 2 points. That is hypothesis testing and A/B testing. Some of you people have already know what is the hypothesis testing. You might have learned somewhere in your bachelor's, or even if you don't know, I will teach you like in the next slide, like how you should learn. Basically, in hypothesis testing, what happens is whenever in industry a data science problem has been formed, we develop the very first step in solving any data science problem in industry is to develop a hypothesis. Okay, so this is the power of hypothesis testing. You should know what is alternative, what is null hypothesis. You should able to know what is p value. You should know that when the null hypothesis being rejected, or when we don't reject it. Coming to A/B testing, A/B testing is something related to uh, like when you especially do some kind of survey. Okay, let's suppose you might have seen in many of your, when you use Instagram or Facebook, some of people have you have seen that even if you have installed the same version of the Facebook, the UI, or there is very little change in the user interface, maybe some change in the buttons or orders. Okay, that is called the A/B testing. The half of the population have been given a different Facebook application, or maybe a little change in the user interface. The rest half of the people have been given a different interface, just to check which interface, or the UI works very well among the users, just to get the survey how people keep engaging in the Facebook if we do these kind of experiment. That is called A, that is called B. This is called the A/B testing. Okay, this usually works when we bring change to any of the websites, maybe introducing some kind of button, or maybe doing any change. Okay, this is usually works A/B testing. So this is all, but the point is like uh, how you should learn these. Okay, so usually what I've learned is from this YouTube lecture, YouTube Professor Leonard is a professor from some kind of university. Uh, let me- yeah. You go to this channel, Professor Leonard, okay, and you can easily see you can search maybe uh, the statistics for data science, Professor Leonard. Okay, you could this course, this playlist, and you can see, like, you go to each and every course of that, and you can need you will get everything you needed to crack the data science interview from the statistics perspective. For example, you should on the first he will talk about some sampling techniques, then he will talk about some data distribution like frequency distribution, then he will talk about standard deviation, mean, mode, median, those kind of things, then z score, percentiles, then again probability, then he will talk about some kind of okay, probability in complementary way, some advanced level topics on probability, some probability distribution. Okay, then he will talk about other distribution like normal distribution or standard normal distribution. Then he will talk about central limit theorem, confidence interval. The lastly of the 3 or 4 lecture will cover hypothesis testing. Okay, so I think this is enough for cracking any data science interview. Okay, most of the videos you will see is a very repetitive in nature, and you must have to watch it very smartly. It will take, if you spend like 1 hour daily, it will hardly take around 15 days to work. Okay, some concepts which have not been covered in the video, you can directly go to Google search and learn from anywhere you like. The next thing is you should know, like, I haven't seen personally like calculus that has been asked in the interview, so like you can skip that, or even if you want to learn it, you can learn it to any extent possible, because I don't have any knowledge on that, because I didn't have asked in any of the interview round. Even the interviewer doesn't know about the calculus, and I don't see in the practical industry experience the practical knowledge that has been used, calculus has been used in these scenarios. Okay, although calculus is being used in the internal workings of machine learning algorithms, even if the derivations of linear, if you see the derivation of linear regression algorithm, the calculus has been used in that. Okay, so you should know that the basic the inner workings of the or the derivation possible related to algorithms. To that much of calculus you should know, and I don't think any much or advanced level topic you should know on the calculus that doesn't require from my perspective. The next thing is how much SQL you should know. Again, go to any website, learn SQL. My favorite website to learn SQL is W3 Schools. Go W3 schools and tutorials, then you can learn sequels, and you can see there are a lot of topics you can see on the left hand side.
Tauheed, if you can hear us, we can't hear you.
Yeah, so sorry, there has been connection issue. Am I audible right now?
Yeah, now you're audible.
Yeah.
So we
Uh,
lost you at W3 schools.
yeah, sure. Okay. Am I a bit fast, or am I going like
I think
at the?
it's going nice, and I think somebody raised the hand also in between. Probably
Oh,
Saqib or
okay.
someone. Yeah,
Okay, I will come to it. The concerns later on. Okay,
right.
all the concerns. Let me just walk you through all the slides. So I went three W3 schools. So if you load it, you can see you can learn all the topics from top to bottom, anything about anything, especially the join part that has been heavily asked. What are the inner join, left join? How does it
We
work?
can't see the
Okay,
presentation.
okay. Uh, just a second. Now you can see, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So especially on the left panel, you can see you can learn all these topics, especially this join parts. What is the left join, right join, or mostly in the interviews, they have been asked like what are the nested queries, okay, like query inside of another query, okay, that type of concept usually asked. So you should learn these kind of things. SQL is the best tutorial to learn those, okay. And the next thing is this much of after learning how much SQL you should know, which I have recently showed you on W3 schools. Then the battle comes to the programming, especially for the data science. Which programming language you should choose between Python or R? Especially in the college student, they are mostly coded in C++ or maybe Java, but that is fine. For the freshers, the interviewer just want that he has done some kind of programming irrespective of the language, but it is better or recommended to, since you are interviewing for data science role, you should know what is Python, like you should know the coding knowledge in Python or even on R, okay. But the thing is which one you should use. In most of the companies, out of the 40 companies, there is only one company I have interviews, and their demand was on R. The next 39 companies they work on Python, okay. So it is my personal advice, go for Python. It is widely used, and it has a lot of packages, although R is heavily used for scientific uses, but Python has a lot of integrations also. You can use Python for data science. Apart from data science, you can use it for web development even, okay. Or even the syntax is much easier, or people usually whenever someone starts coding, right, like nowadays they usually start with Python, okay, because it is easily to, the syntax is very very easy to read. The code is very much easy readable. So this is my personal recommendation. Like company, most of the companies, more than 95% companies are working on Python, okay. So, how much programming you should know? So, based on my practical experience, the easiest question I've been asked is like, given a number, you, if the number is even, like you should print even. given the number is odd, you should print odd. The hardest question which I've been asked is to traverse this matrix, this square matrix in this order. Like first you should print 1, 2, 3, then come to the bottom 6, 9, then 8, 7, and 4, 5. Okay. Although these type of question has already been covered in, like if I talk about the computer engineering part in ZHCET and AMU, like this type of question has already been covered or have been asked in the labs. Okay. So like this is all this is the range of the easiest and hardest question I've been asked, so you can get the idea like what are the in between topics should be in Python. You should know about the basic data structure, what are the list, what are the tuples, what are the dictionary, what are the set, when each one of them has been used widely. Okay. Not just about reading this, but heavily like writing code yourself is the best practice to do programming. You cannot become a good programmer by reading code, by understanding some other's code or project. You have to do it yourself. Okay. And the next thing, especially if I talk about the interviews of the software engineering and data science interview, the level of programming is much easier than that, because in software engineering role people like expected to know the complex topics of data structure, like you should know about dynamic programming, you should know about the greedy algorithms, you should know about the game theory, you should know about the trees, graphs, those kind of methods. But I haven't seen personally, talking about the from practical experience, I haven't seen any these kind of dynamic programming graphs and trees. Although if you are interested, you can totally go ahead. Okay. So this is the acumen of programming, how much you should know. The next thing about the online course which I was talking about. Okay. Pick up Literally pick up any good course from Udemy, Coursera. There are a lot of sales that is going on. Like every day on Udemy, like courses are around 500. And if you can go to anywhere, like I personally love Udemy because of because they are cost friendly, and although there are a lot of good courses in that. And then you can go to data science, and personally like there are a lot of good courses. One of such courses uh, is, I think the course name was around 360 data science uh, bootcamp maybe. Yeah, so it is 365 careers. This course I did it. Basically, these two courses when I was in my company, or even and my during my graduation time. So the top course usually covers all the theoretical knowledge also, as well as the some of the practical implementation. The course by 365 careers. The next course by Joe Portela mostly covers on the practical experience or the practical life coding knowledge. This covers mostly on that. And mostly by doing courses, make sure like this is not like any other course, like theoretical course that for example this is 25 total hour course. You spend 25 hours on that and you learn data science. Based on this assumption, you will totally definitely going to fail. Okay. The coding for data science or understanding the concepts take much time. 25 is just the introduction. You have to go like mostly you have to loop over the video several times to understand that concept, or even you have to do some kind of side learnings by understanding some of the research papers or even some of the blogs even. Okay. Or even if you don't know something, even if you're weak at programming and come to this stage, you have to go backward, learn the programming, and come to this way to understand what actually has been like delivered on this lecture. Okay. Make sure you don't cover or don't do any course for the sake of completion or for the sake of getting a certificate, because certificate doesn't add any value. Skills that add any always add any values on that whenever you interview, not only on data science but for any other roles. Okay. Skills are always important in IT especially. So make sure you're learning or you're doing smartly or efficiently with any course, not just data science. That's how it works. Okay. So this is the part. And the course, even if you look at the some of the curriculums of this course, let me just show you what you should know. when you go to, there is a course curriculum. Okay, there is a course curriculum. You, even if you don't know data science, or there are packages in data science, some of you already know. There are NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, those kind of packages. So this is just a brush up first, few lectures, and then they will jump you into the introduction of machine learning. They will talk about the algorithms in like linear regression, and linear regression with Python. They will teach you on live by taking a data set, sample data set. Then they will talk about some other algorithm like KNN, K support vector machine, and unsupervised learning technique like K-means clustering. Okay, some PCA or those kind of thing. Okay, and from that they will able to develop some kind of other scenario. What are the recommended system? How to build that? Okay, some problem statement maybe in NLP. Okay, and somewhere into the deep learning. Okay, this is basically they will give you this course. The agenda of this course is basically to get a understanding or a general or high level or maybe some kind of in-depth overview of what is machine learning from the perspective of coding and data science. Okay, do any course. Maybe if you find any other, there are a lot of good or free courses also available on the YouTube. Do any one of those courses, and you will definitely will able to do it. Okay, even if I show you YouTube Python programming, you will definitely find some 3 or 4 hours video on maybe learn Python in 5 hours, like how you should do this video. Like there are 5 minutes, 5 hours, 30-minute video. Do 30 minutes, skip, pause on that, practice on whatever you have learned on 30 minutes, do the next 30 minutes, then learn on that. That's how you should learn the Python. Okay, or any course from the YouTube. Okay, you can, there are a lot of free lectures are also available on that. You don't have to spend much on this. The next thing is about after picking and getting knowledge. When you got the knowledge how a basic projects that has been worked, or that should be work in data science, or maybe getting a data. When getting a data, by doing this course you will be able to learn what are the EDA step, what are the pre-processing step, how you should build the model, how you should hyperparameter tune it, how you should validate your model, how you should even send your model into the production, like maybe on the cloud. That is not a requirement for the fresher, that is for the experienced people. Or even how you should monitor, this is also for the experienced people. This you will get somewhere on the by doing the Udemy course. Okay, but the thing is, you don't collect a lot of resources of like data science or any skill you are learning. Like pick up any one good course from any one of your good friends or recommendations. Okay, and just do that course very honestly and just rave through it. That is one of the advice. And otherwise you will be able to lost and spend a lot of time in a very like lost way. Okay, the next thing is doing projects. How you should do the projects. Okay, so whenever like learning while when we learn any programming, or in first year or anywhere, whenever you start coding. Okay, there is a hello world program that everyone writes. Okay, just print hello world. Okay, similarly there are some beginner level of projects also in data science that is there, that you should learn. And those projects that you can find on any website. Type beginner level data science projects. Okay, that's in my Google search. Okay, and you can learn to go to any website, go to towards data science, top 10 data science projects for beginners. Okay, and there are some kind of projects. There are projects related to data collection, web scraping. You can skip it, although it's not a requirement. Web scraping is not a requirement. And you can start directly from the skill to what are the exploratory data analysis that you should do. There is the data set also, all the tutorials also been attached to that, even if you're stuck somewhere. Okay, world happiness report data set tutorial, what are the problem statement or the analysis on that. some projects on the data visualization, maybe from COVID-19 data you have to plot some of the stuff. Maybe in this during this week or during this month, the reported cases was much higher by plotting a histogram, or maybe IMDb movie data set. These are the some basic data set or problem you should projects are there. Some machine learning projects are sentimental analysis on food reviews. What are the positive or negative reviews are there? Life expectancy prediction, given of some features, you should predict how much a person should be survive. Like the features like education, number of infant deaths, alcohol consumption, adult mortality. Based on these features, you should able to predict what is the expectancy of the person. Breast cancer analysis, you this is a very famous problem and classification problem. Basically, you have to predict whether the cancer is malignant or normal based on several features. Okay, so these are some hello world data science project that you should do after completing that Udemy course. Although that Udemy course will cover maybe one or two basic projects, but these you should do by yourself. I've already told you why you should do a lot of projects, because it will develop all rounder your skills, your programming, your analytical ability, your theoretical knowledge, everything. Okay. Once you do all these projects, okay, this is very enough, more than enough, even for the fresher level. Okay. But for the experienced people, this is not enough, because your experience and this Hello World project is not a requirement. Then but definitely you should be able to do it, because you don't know data science very well from the practical knowledge. After doing, for the especially for the experienced people, you should level a bit up and do some good projects. For example, you should do projects like maybe customer segmentation. Okay, based on some maybe mart data, you have some transaction data. You are able to segment what are the good customers for me, what are the bad customers for me. Those kind of good projects you should do. Okay, that involves basically good EDA, exploratory data analysis, or good data handling part. Okay, not just model fit and model predict. That shouldn't happen. You should spend most of the time on data analysis and checking the data quality, because that is one of the heaviest part that has been done in industry. Okay, that is for experienced people. Okay, and learn by doing it, not by reading and understanding the code that I have already told you. Okay, and the next thing is this was for experienced people, and that totally the thing is whenever you learn, okay, the basic projects, if you have some interest, okay, maybe I'm interested in finance projects. I'm interested in maybe automotive projects. I'm interested in I love to work with the sales data, or even with the Amazon data. Okay, you can go for projects whatever you like, because data science is in almost every domain. Okay, but first you should learn this basic project just to get how a model or a project should be built. Okay, then go for whatever project you should like, whatever project you want to learn in whatever domain. Okay, the next thing is, there is a saying always, of course, which I learned in my first year of career, that whenever you are doing it, like whenever you're introducing in any of the field, let's suppose you're learning data science, there is a saying like, go wide first, then go depth. What does it mean? It means that first you should explore or learn what are the basics things that are available in this particular course. Okay, then after learning, after getting a high level or even some medium level of idea what is going on, then you should select what suits you better, then you should go in depth. Okay, first go wide, then go depth. There is a saying on that. Now since you have learned, this was all the learning part that I have covered so far. Okay, the main thing is like learning and is extremely important, but what far more important is like showing that you have those skills. Okay, because even if you send your resume to the recruiter and you are a very expert or very highly knowledgeable person, how does the recruiter know, okay, that you are very good? That is, the first impression is resume. Okay, you are basically your resume on that. Okay, and while building your resume, you should always think like a recruiter. Like uh, whenever you have built a resume, think like maybe a recruiter, or whenever you are applying to some of the jobs. Okay, read the job description, then read your resume and think, if I were a recruiter, whether I would have selected my resume or not. If not, what are the feedbacks on that? Made your resume accordingly. Okay. Some of the basic tips in which the resume should be, that resume should be minimal. Okay, minimal maybe of 1 page or 2 page, because no one reads a long resume. Okay, no one has time for that. A recruiter barely spends like 15 to 20 seconds uh, on a candidate, especially in a data science field. A lot of people are doing data science, and there are a lot of applicants for a single job, and the time is less. So make sure you build your resume in a very minimal manner. Okay, the next thing you should know while building your resume is this thing: put all the relevant things on the top related to the job. Okay, what are the relevant things? Your skills, your projects. If you are experienced person in industry or have done any internship in the past, put your work experience even. Then all the, or even your education. Okay, but all the relevant thing on the top and the less relevant thing on the bottom. Your hobbies, achievements, personal interest. Okay, this should be on the bottom. Even if you don't write it, that's totally okay. But even if your achievements are related to the data science, you should definitely mention it. Okay, although whatever you would like to mention, you can definitely mention it, but the relevant thing should be on the top and the less relevant thing on should be on the bottom. Okay, and another thing you should know while building your resume, like many people write paragraphs like on projects. Okay, maybe 5 6 liner paragraph they do. Okay, I've done this project, and this was the summary of that project. It doesn't work that way. Okay, a recruiter wants to know, and they don't have much time. You should write, instead of paragraph, write some bullet points and very short bullet points. Okay, instead of writing that I have applied linear regression in this kind of data set, write something like this: by applying this model, linear regression, my accuracy went from maybe 70% to 80%. Okay. Think about the numbers or the metrics. Okay. Or by applying this algorithm, my automation or the running execution time went from maybe 2 hours to 30 minutes. Okay. Think about the metrics. Okay. The numbers you should write. Okay, and this is especially for the experienced people, but uh, even for people who are right now a fresher, they should know, you should like keep this make a habit of writing these practices into your resume, whatever just have told you. Okay, make your resume very minimal and very, like, whenever someone reads some line, okay, like they got an impression, okay, this person knows something. Okay, it usually come when I interview someone or whenever I screen resume in my career. I have interviewed several people also for data science roles. So like my thing is, like, whenever, even doing mentorship, when I went doing mentorship worldwide, first I ask people their resume, okay, to get a basic idea how much that person knows and what level of knowledge I should deliver to it. Okay, so this the resume is the very important aspect of it, and you should know how to develop it very smartly, and you should definitely know how to think like a recruiter. Next is applying to the jobs. Once you have built your resume, we usually apply a lot of jobs. Okay, and since we wanted to apply a lot of companies in a very short period of time, we apply to the jobs directly on the portal. Although that works sometime, but it mostly doesn't, because just like you or even better than you, there are a lot of people highly skilled that has already applied to that job. okay, and like you are just very far away from the queue and you are very less skilled person, okay. So applying to the job on the website is the worst way in my opinion, although that can be an option if you have a time constraint, if you have very less time. But what you should know is basically consider a referral, okay. Maybe you can ask people in your connections or even in your friend or in your family, whether you can refer me on this company or not, okay. Referral is a very good way to do that. And even if you don't know something about it, you can definitely don't know something about the referral, you have the LinkedIn, okay. Use LinkedIn, make connection, cool text people, make a lot of connection, okay. And let's suppose you wanted to apply in some company, let's suppose Deloitte. Before applying to the job, send connection to the 50 Deloitte people of that company, okay. Write some format a text, okay, maybe something like this, okay. Hey, I'm interested in this job for this role. Paste the job link, then I think maybe you could refer me because I think I'm a good fit for this role. Out of those 50 people, like 40 or 45 people don't respond. Out of those 5 people, okay, uh, 2 or 3 may say, okay, I can't refer you because I don't know you. The rest, or 1 or 2 people, they will definitely refer you, and there are your golden people. So make use of LinkedIn very rigorously, because it is like, if I talk about my personal experience, this is my third company. My second and third company, I've got this job solely on the LinkedIn, okay. Although, apart from the LinkedIn, you should know how to use Naukri. Although there is no criteria of referrals on Naukri, you can definitely apply to the jobs as many as you can. Okay. And definitely, at the start, since you don't know about how the data science industry works, there is a very strong likelihood that you will get rejected. Rejection is important. Learn upon it, improvise. Okay, craft your resume accordingly, then again get the interview, then again get rejected, get the feedback. Okay, maybe you need to little bit learn something additional knowledge, then recraft your resume and then again adapt to it. This is the general scenario which I've followed, and due to these reasons I've learned so much, and I've been interviewed in so many companies based on this mantra, okay. So this was the all about it, okay. I usually since I've told you, I think am I on time?
Yes, yes, you're on
Okay,
time, and I think there are few people who would like to ask questions as well.
okay, okay, great.
Rehan Mansoori has raised the hand.
So okay, let me just raise the hands, okay. Yeah, anyone can go ahead and like put your questions on the
Yes,
chat.
Rehan, you may please ask.
Yeah,
Yes. Hello.
yeah,
I'm
hi
audible,
Rehan.
sir.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
you are.
तो सर मतलब जो साइंस बैकग्राउंड के नहीं, जैसे इंजीनियरिंग के नहीं, उनके लिए डाटा साइंस फील्ड में जाना कैसा है, मतलब पॉसिबल है नहीं,
कौन
जैसे
से
कोई कॉमर्स है या बीए से है?
बीए से है, कॉमर्स से है, लाइक देयर लॉट ऑफ पीपल, बहुत सारे पीपल हैं, लाइक डेटा साइंस इज समथिंग ना, मतलब अगर तुम डेटा साइंस के लिए जॉब के लिए अप्लाई करोगे ना, यू डोंट एक्चुअली, अगर आपके पास डिग्री नहीं भी है, ऑल्दो आपके पास वो एडवांटेज नहीं है जो इंजीनियरिंग वाले बीटेक वाले लोगों के पास है,
जी
दैट इज वन ऑफ द ट्रू फैक्ट. But internally, but what I mean is, it totally, I wouldn't say that it is impossible, but whatever the skills that I've just told you, जो भी मैंने बोलने के लिए कहा है, सीखने के लिए कहा है तुमसे,
जी
ठीक है, अगर ये तुमने साइड बाय लर्निंग कर ली, so then like no one can stop you, because company nowadays, they are obviously, degree is one of the aspect, but the skills is the another aspect of doing that. People from the BSc or even from the BCom has totally jumped into the data science. Even I've seen people that are literally there, okay. Even the most suitable role just to start, since there are a lot of roles are there, data science, data engineer, data analyst, you can directly go for data analyst. in which the machine learning knowledge or even advanced programming knowledge doesn't require. You just know the SQL, some business understanding, and that's it. You can definitely do that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Does that answer your question, Rehan?
Yes, Daniel, you may.
Okay. Anyone else?
Daniel.
Hello, sir.
Hi,
Sir,
Daniel.
there's just this one question that's been on my mind.
Hmm.
Is a degree really required for the data scientist?
To be honest, yes, because I know like skill is very important factor, and people recruiters should know or consider a candidate based on his skills and not on the degree. But if you think like a recruiter, it is not entirely possible. For example, let's suppose you don't have a degree. Okay, how I should measure how much you should know? Okay, degree is one of the aspect that a recruiter find it easy to measure the candidate. Okay, what candidate knows. Even like people, even after doing bachelor's, they go for masters, especially for the data science, because it is a very research oriented field. Like even the btech people, or uh, even btech people sometimes works, or bachelor people sometimes works. But even people are doing masters, because that gives an impression to the company that by doing masters in any even if you do MSc, MCA, those kind of degree, or in any engineering background, engineering like statistics, technology, engineering, mathematics, STEM, like that gives an impression like this person have a research mindset. Okay, and so yeah, degrees matter in practical world. Yes, it matters.
Do research papers will count in the resume?
Sorry.
Will the research papers count in resume?
Yeah, definitely. That's a completely add-on here.
Okay.
That's a very plus point, and research people is heavily used. Like they are they are highly considered, especially for the company's product-based company research team is working on. Like research paper is definitely a plus point. Like I strongly encourage the candidates who are preparing for the data science, do some projects, write some research paper, publish into the conferences. Definitely, yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Zishan. Zaheen.
Hi, Tauheed. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I just want to know, my question is similar to Daniel. Like, is it necessary to do a master's if I'm willing to switch to data science? I'm 21 pass out and I'm from mechanical background. So, is it necessary
Okay.
or I can do those side-by-side courses?
No, it's not necessary. Actually, what happens now? There are even there is a distinction usually when you go to product-based companies. What happens now? There are people who have done bachelors. There are people who have done masters. This is a general criteria. Like some company wants masters, some good companies, like product-based company, even my company, which I'm working right now, they need masters, or even they need exceptional candidate if they don't have any master's degree. Okay, but
Okay.
even with the bachelor's you can go for the companies like consultancy company. I think on the LinkedIn I have mentioned a list of companies: the math company, Durhamby, Sigmoid Analytics, Tridence, or Tiger Analytics. And these companies, like they don't need uh, masters people. If that's just an add-on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does
Thank you.
that answer your question? Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Yes,
Yes,
Mohammed
I
Shoaib.
have.
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Sir, can you tell us that which country is better to pursue MS in data science? Like
You're asking about the patents, right?
Which country is
MS.
better for MS in data science?
Which countries for MS in data science? Usually, like normally, generally, people mostly you can go to any countries, but the most popular country for data science are US, Canada, Germany. Uh, and these are the three most popular countries I've ever seen. If you're looking for cost-friendly solution, there are in Germany there are a lot of universities which offers free education. Okay, United States is a bit costlier, Canada is the middle line, or just is slightly less costlier than US. Although you can go based upon the scholarships, on you can search online. Yeah.
Sir, I am from mechanical ground. Is it possible to pursue MS from Germany in data science? Like in
Uh,
Germany,
yeah. The thing is, like whenever you visit some kind of course and on the website of any university, there is a eligibility criteria. Okay, that you should have if you are pursuing MS, and for example in computer science or data science, there is a criteria that your bachelor's should have been done in only those way. Okay, or even if you are a mechanical background, since my company is also working in mechanical domain, there are a lot of people who haven't done MTech in data science or MS in data science. They have done MS in operation research. Okay, those kind of fields they have done, and they are still operation research is also a very widely and very important thing that has been used in data science for optimization purposes. So you can definitely select these kind of domain which are suitable to your mechanical domain if you don't qualify the criteria for data science in MS for abroad.
okay, thank you, sir.
Yep. Anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Tauheed, sir. My name is Shanur Ahmed, and I'm from Saharanpur. And sir, I
Okay.
do have actually 2 to 3 doubts. I have also messaged you on LinkedIn. However, I have discussed with you something, but I do have some doubts remaining, so
Oh
I
yeah,
want to discuss with
I
them.
remember you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell me.
Okay, so like talking about this, and I hope that there are some also joinees. They are from the, I mean, I can say the freshers. So talking about this, actually, I think that this will also clear the doubts of the freshers who have already joined the meeting. So
Okay.
actually, sir, I do have 2 questions, and the first is, like, I'm a fresher. I'm going to complete my graduation in computer science. So talking about this, I'm not good at coding. I mean, I can say so much good. However, I do have some knowledge, like basic knowledge of C or C++ languages, but I do not have
Okay.
proper knowledge, as you know well. Like there was Corona and all the things, and you can also understand because you are already from the Aligarh Muslim University, so you do have good
Okay.
experience of the colleges. So like in the colleges, they are not giving the practical work, actually, to be honest. They are just telling, I mean, the teachers are telling the only the theoretical work.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about this, I do not have so much knowledge of the practically, I can say, for coding. I do have some knowledge, like basic knowledge.
Especially
So
for the coding part, you are concerned, right?
yes, the first is coding part, and the second part I will let you know.
Okay. The coding is especially that is true. The college doesn't teach coding to that much of extent, which requires to qualify the criteria for the interview. That is true,
Exactly.
right? But the thing is, somewhere some of the theoretical subjects like data structures, algorithms, that might help you somewhere in the coding. And coding is something that is a very vast thing. And college curriculum actually doesn't know how much coding we should put in. Okay, that is one of the things. So this
Yes.
is one of the reason the coding curriculum like doesn't involve a lot of coding, but they do involve some kind of basic or coding even in the first year. Okay,
Okay.
the rest coding depends upon the people. Okay, the
Mm-hmm.
reason being, since there are a lot of people who even doesn't have a computer science degree, they're still able to code. That is just by themselves. Okay, so that is solely dependent upon the students, and I don't think like coding should be coding should be introduced, but coding is something that should be dependent on the student itself.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
I got your point, sir. So, like talking about this, if I talk about Python, or I can say C sharp. So, like
Okay.
you also said, like we need to go through the C sharp and Python, and we need to understand, and we need to, I mean, just go through them so that we can go for data science, right?
Mhm.
So, like if I want to learn Python, suppose,
Mhm.
so can I learn from any coaching institute, or like from by my own self, from any YouTube, or what? I mean, like, what is
Okay.
your idea about it?
The thing is, okay, it really, to be honest, it really doesn't matter where are you learning from, but make sure your objectives for I've shown you that slide. Okay, how much programming you should know from the easiest to the hardest coding problem I have faced in the interview. So to be honest, wherever you find it easy or handy, maybe or the online or offline mode, wherever possible, or maybe by the recommendations of your friends, people who have been doing it, or maybe there are a lot of online lectures that are available. It truly doesn't matter wherever you are learning it. You can learn it from anywhere as long as you are just achieving your objectives.
Okay, I got your point, sir. And the second thing is that suppose I don't have any experience, so should I need to apply for any job for data science, or I need to first, just get the idea about the
Yeah,
data
yeah,
science?
yeah. Applying to a data science job, especially for the freshers, that is a bit
Mm-hmm.
tricky. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so first you should find the internship. Okay, internship
Okay.
by literally cold texting the people on LinkedIn, not just applying into the internship or something. Okay, just make a list of company, go to their careers page, find if there are any internship available to them. Okay, even if there are not mentioned, go for some startups. Okay, they have highly requirement of the people. Okay, sometimes they don't mention. Startups is a lot easier to actually approach, and you can ask for the internship from them. Start from the internship, or even at from the entry level of data science. Okay, does that answer your question? Fine. Who's the next?
There's no one in the queue right now.
Okay. I think no one, right, sir?
Yeah. Hamza, are you there online?
Yes, sir.
Uh, yeah,
Mohsin
Mohsin has
Anwar
just.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mohsin, do
Mohsin,
you have a
go
question?
ahead.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah,
Please ask your
Assalamu
question.
alaikum, Tauheed sir.
Walaikum
Yeah,
salam.
yeah, sir. I want to know. Yeah, my name is Mohsin Anwar. I am from civil engineering background, and I have done masters in environmental engineering. Sir, I am just I'm very eager to know about the data science, and I want to include data science in my environmental field, environmental data science. My question is that what is the scope in environmental data science, and what is the career in that?
Okay. From the perspective of environment. Okay. Uh, okay. Basically, the scope of environment is something related to. I have seen like some companies working on reducing the carbon emissions based on AI by measuring the several factors. For example, on the traffic signals, they have attached several sensors, like how much the pollution has been generated in the city, and based on that they are making some decision how we can implement it. So this is one of the application which I have known. Another application is somewhere related to the agriculture that I've seen, just to maintain the quality crops or the quality fruits, that I've seen from the environmental perspective. Yeah,
Even in the green energy, and there are
yeah.
many implications in environmental field, and the climate change work is being done regarding that. If if you could
Right,
predict certain things, so there is ample of I think opportunities in the field of environmental studies.
right. That's correct. Although
Yeah,
you
so
can
more,
just
more
able to
yeah,
Google search it. Okay, that's just some of the application me and sir knows. Okay, there, yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of other applications also. Yeah.
moreover, right? How can I get into this sort of job?
Sorry, how you could get a job?
How, yeah, how can I get the job in environmental data science? So I have done
Uh,
masters in environmental engineering.
Environmental engineering, masters, definitely, like the path is same. Even if you know something, the path is same for learning the skill, irrespective of your degree, irrespective of your background. Okay, for example, if when you learn those paths, okay, those Python skills and machine learning goals and SQL, and when you apply for the jobs relevant to your maybe your domain, environmental company, or maybe somewhere that revolves around your environmental domain, then maybe go for the startups. You can definitely get a call from the recruiter, given that you have upskilled yourself. Just giving you an example, the junior of my company, he is a associate data scientist. He's from petrochemical engineering. Okay, so that's that, and he's dealing in mechanical engineering domain. So the cross skilling always happen. It totally depends on your skills. Okay.
I think the crux of this whole discussion is that you could be from any field, and if you have the prerequisites that have been told in the during this talk, if you were not able to hear that, you can see that on the YouTube later on. Then if you are acquiring those kind of knowledge and expert in a particular area and working on the projects and then looking for the jobs in the industry, it's a good way to get into it and get jobs for yourselves. Right, so you don't have to worry about that. You just need to have those skills that are required and which have been thoroughly discussed during the talk.
Right.
So Hamza, I would like you to please take on from here.
Okay, sir, sure. So thank you for introducing us to the field of data science and the roadmap to do good in it, and being so illustrative with your presentation. And thank you, sir, for your inspiring words that would surely ignite a spark in each one of us to become successful in life and become the best in the field. And your tips will definitely open new gates of opportunities for all of us. Also, I'd like to thank Dr. Zafariab Haider, sir, in charge IIRU-ZHCET and Aligarh Muslim University for conducting this webinar. Lastly, I'd like to extend my thankfulness to all the attendees for this webinar who showed up and made this webinar a success. I hope this webinar would have added some value to each one of us. Thank you for joining, everyone.
Thank you.
And as a final note, I would like to thank Tauheed for taking his time out and speaking in great details about the topic, and I hope people must have had got some insight into it. And I would be requesting that if you could share your LinkedIn profile with the people so that people may contact you. You can just type
Yeah,
in
let me just
in
share.
the chat box.
Yep.
Right.
Let me just do it. Yeah. Just give me a second, and there is a brief announcement I would like to make that within a day or two, a website of mine, the selfcreatives.com, will be live, where I will be doing one-to-one mentorship, which I've been doing offline manner in now, and even in that somewhere in the near future, and a week or two, I will be doing some mock interviews or some resume discussion for the people all around the world. And this is pretty much about me. The team is actually working on the website, and it is just some conflict issue that is going on in the domain. So, okay, I think, okay, let me just copy paste my website. Just give me a second. Where is my LinkedIn? Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we
Thank you
both
so much,
shared at the
sir.
same time. All right.
Sir, Tauheed sir, do you have any path, like, do you have any social media platform where you give the
We
content and videos, anything like on YouTube or any?
On right now, only by post on LinkedIn, I communicate all the my experience and journey regarding data science on LinkedIn.
Okay.
But soon I will be sharing all my journey on this website, which I've just pinged on the chat. Okay.
No, sir. Like, I'm talking about the course. Like, suppose people give the course, they give their
The
courses.
course. Since there are a lot of course to learn data science already,
Mhm.
my course is not. I don't have any course right now at the moment.
No, I'm
But
talking about the. Talking about the course that you're gonna make according to your experience. You got my point, sir?
so
okay,
he
okay, okay. That that related to especially for the interview preparations, especially like how to prepare for the data science. That is just a plan right now to actually drop a course on the Udemy in the coming months. So that is just a plan, and not right now.
Okay, so how will come to know about that?
I will make an announcement. All the announcement I will make on the LinkedIn.
Okay, sir. All right. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Yep.
Okay, thanks everyone for joining in. Thank you all.